Is it true? Is the video game, racing game, car brum brum drought finally over? I am dying. It's not hot anymore. This video racing games, please. The Crew 2's next update may possibly be on its way. Is the Crew come on? Okay, let's just be real. Bang. They said news is coming for the Crew 2. What is it? This video, we're going to discuss it. The Crew 2 is one of my favorite games this generation. You already know. You've been here since the Crew 1. I speak to you like you don't know. You do know. The Crew, one of my favorite franchises this generation, and it looks like we're getting even more content with this next upcoming looming information drop, where it's an update, in my mind, for either next gen or an update, in my mind, also the next update, because we are about due an update. The days will align if they announce it on the 11th, like the event is supposed to be, Ubisoft Forward, and then boom, at the end of the month there's an update drop. Either that or the start of the next month. They'll be in a line. It will all make sense, my friends. Don't you worry. Now, we have two possible theories for updates, as I said, and hopefully we actually get both. So the next gen consoles are just around the corner, and most games are going to get updates to essentially make it so that you can play those games in even better quality and detail and options on the next generation consoles. Now, I'm not going to say expect anything humongous, a graphic upgrade visually on any of these games. It's just going to bump the resolution in most cases. Maybe most of the textures won't even be 4K still. But nonetheless, I think the Crew 2 will live on for the next generation, at least for a year or two before we get the next game. I reckon a lot of developers have been waiting, sitting, and most of them, their games will be ported for the foreseeable. I reckon, though, that the Crew 3 is hopefully being worked on, and it'll be next-gen specific. So they've been waiting for these consoles to come out and begin the process, if that makes sense, or at least the dev kits, because the games take a while to create. You know, you want a nice baseline for it. Anyway. The other theory in what the update could be, if it's not next gen, the next gen update's not going to come until a little bit later. I mean, that's fine too. It's a bit early. We still don't know when the bloody things are coming out on either camp. Both Sony and Microsoft. Both Sony and Microsoft are like, now you go. If you look at the Crew hub, it'll give us a little bit of a delve into what possibly may be at the end of this month, which could align with the update. There seems to be a lowrider. Now, this is a car that's already in the game, I must say, but it's a special version of it, so it's like they're doing the Summit special cars. Now, if this car is a lowrider, that is amazing. You can see in the picture it's got the hydraulics. Now, will this be the case, or is this just baiting us? Are we actually going to be able to hippity hop? Are we going to be able to go lowrider style? And are we going to have lowrider events? Are there going to be lowrider races? Are there going to be lowrider drag races? Or, quite frankly, are there going to be dance-offs? Do you remember GTA San Andreas? I do. GTA San Andreas lowrider missions were some of my favorite things to do, and just the culture around it in general. It's like the South Central update of Midnight Club LA, brought back to life. The Crew, I love what they're doing with this game. I hope and pray that we can do that. The low, at least we can hop. You don't even have to make events for it. Let us hop. Just let us play. I would be super happy if that was the case. Now, if this car has no hippity-hoppity whatsoever, I'm gonna be a little bit doffity. And I would just be baited. We would all be baited. It was all a lie. It was a dream. But it would give them an idea of what could potentially be in the future. Now, if it's neither of these two things, what potentially could it be? Now, the last update was a pretty minor update. If you don't know what usually happens with the Ivory Tower, the Crew 2 update, there's generally a smaller update, which was the last one, and then a bigger update, was the last one. The last one added new gameplay elements, like, for example, the new grinding elements to unlock new cars, the hobbies update is essentially what it was. Long-time players will know that most of the big features we played today were not added or not available at launch. But things like the hobbies, for example, and a bunch of the events that are now in the game, there's so many things they've added. The Demolition Derby stuff, that was added as well. That was something that I very, very much appreciated, but I hope that this is something big. I hope this is something like a game feature, something big like that, because we've had another, the last update was a small update. There's usually one or two big features when it comes to the every other update. Now, if this is a small update and this lowrider is nothing to do with the update and it's not a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X update and it's not anything big, that tells me one huge thing, which I would say would be the silver lining on a dark situation. It would mean that, of course, there's no updates, there's nothing major, it's just new cars or new bikes or new boats or new planes. It's mostly cars and bikes. There's nothing new in terms of things to do. It would just be more content, which is fine. I would accept it because the silver lining to me would say that we are close to the Crew 3. But they did say the Crew 2 news is coming on that Twitter post. So that to me says the Crew 2 news. They didn't say the Crew news, did they? No. They said the Crew 2 news, Theo. So clearly there's an update coming. But yes, what if it's a tiny update? If that's the case, I'm not actually going to be that worried. In fact, I'll be a little bit excited at the same time. Of course, my opinion may be different to yours. I'm always interested to see what you guys think. And are you excited? Are you interested? Even if the lowrider, for example, like, do you remember they had this before? They have a helicopter. There's only one helicopter available. There was some the hovercraft. The hovercraft was in the game, and the next update was the hovercraft update. They were teasing. So even if the update is delayed or it's later, it's a little bit after when the lowrider comes out, we get a tease of what lowriders could possibly be, and then boom, big old lowrider update. You know what I'm saying? Hippity boppity, moving around in my whippity. I need to stop this. I think going forward, there will be a next generation update. I'm going to speak more about this when we hear more information about it, but I think it's safe to say there will be a next generation update. Considering the fact they're releasing an update very soon, we're also seeing the likes of Rockstar Games release a big update. All game companies are starting to rile up and get ready to move their games over to the next generation. A bunch of the other Ubisoft games that are coming out soon will have free upgrades to next generation if you get special versions, or each game is different, but I think it's safe to say that the Crew, we're gonna keep smashing it just for a little bit longer. It's actually only been out for almost 2 years now. I think included in the next gen update, it will be safe to say there won't just be bang, that's it. It would be interesting to see if they go the route of Rockstar, for example. Rockstar are going to do an enhanced version for the next generation, and then most other people are doing like an upgrade. You just play you put your disc in and it will play the PlayStation 5 version. It will download it. I'm kind of mixed on the idea, because if they have a dedicated version, they could release like a Wild Run expansion sort of thing. Do you remember how they did that? They released a new package that you could buy called Wild Run, and it was on the shelf, and it brought a lot of new people into the game. If they did that and boom, brought people in, the update was available for last gen, and they released a new bundled copy, I think that would be super cool. There's not been any proper expansion DLC thus far. I'm still open to the idea, and I know a lot of you guys will be too, because something huge like that, I don't know, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense, especially as we go into the next generation, because the audience is going to be split anyway. I'm kind of onto something here. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions on what you think this could be. What do you want it to be? What cars do you want to see in the updates? What I don't want is this to be seen as me saying, yes, I do not want any vehicles to be added to the game, because that's quite frankly not true. I want many vehicles being added to the game, but I would very much like there to be a reason to play with those cars. And lowriders makes sense. If you have lowrider events, it all adds up, doesn't it? For example, I was hoping that throughout this life cycle we would possibly get some jet skis. I think that would be super sweet. But obviously, the summer in Hollywood theme, I wonder if they're going to keep that going, and it's going to be autumn in Miami. Maybe lowriders. It possibly connects there, and maybe they could do a big winter update as well, because that would align as well, and that could possibly be the big update to bring the game to the new consoles. There's a whole bunch of things, but what's to say for sure is there's some kind of lowrider come in and some kind of update around the same time, which just kind of makes me think. But until then, you're in the right place to get up to date with the information for the Crew 2. I will definitely mention if there's anything huge. I'm pretty sure there's something big and meaty to tell us. I will tell you. If it's just another car, I'll still tell you, because the Crew 2, baby,
The Crew 2. Be sure to smash like, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.